Okay, so this is why I think AEW All Access should be canceled. Reason number one, it makes the product overall just look bad. I mean, yes, we all do know that AEW has a toxic locker room, but by embracing it and highlighting it and making it one of your attributes as a company, you just make the company in itself look even worse than it already does whenever a new scandal comes out or somebody comes out that they had a locker room fight or some sort of issue. It's not good business. With this past episode in particular, I even walked away disliking some of the brighter stars that AEW has right now. For example, in the segment where Ruby threatens Ty for accidentally injuring her in a match, really that just put a dim on Ruby. I didn't really walked away kind of not really liking her attitude and how she was kind of trying to bully Ty, and not to mention it was unrealistic since Ty could probably whoop her ass in a real fight.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Yeah, and I know this is just a reality show where mostly everything, if not everything, is scripted, but even still, this just looked really stupid. And also with Britt complaining about Thunder every time she was on screen, basically. Even Shivani was like, if you want to be a locker room leader, if you want to make it in the industry, you gotta have thicker skin, and he was right. So yeah, I didn't really like how Britt was acting like a prissy little bitch, and I didn't like how Ruby was acting like a The second reason is that it would kind of oversaturate the market with AEW content. Right now on TV, AEW has Dynamite and Rampage. I know there's even talks of debuting a new show, Collision. And I know what you're thinking, AEW has 3 shows simultaneously running on cable network, so what would be the big deal? The thing about WWE, though, is that they have a lot of superstars, they have a lot of content to put out there, so they can afford all the extra space to push as much content as they want. AEW has very limited content right now. They do have a stacked roster, but they don't have the same level that WWE does. They can't really afford to bring something different with every program like WWE does. Like NXT is reserved for the rookies, SmackDown is reserved for like the tag teams and the upper card stars. Raw, I think right now is more focused on women and the lower card stars. With AEW, Rampage, and Dynamite, you always get a continuation of what's going on every week. It's the same rivalries, pretty much the same matches. So yeah, the AEW content is very much homogenized, and at least in comparison to WWE's content. WWE can spread it out, where AEW, if they spread it out, it's going to be spread too thin. Another reason is that the show is very successful. It does pretty solid in the ratings most of the time. I definitely see a lot of people talking about it on social media, and I know this may all sound like a positive, but in my opinion it's really not, because AEW is a wrestling program. So do you really want one of the focuses of your product to be the backstage drama, or do you want it to focus on what the product actually is, which is wrestling? So yeah, I think while it is entertaining, it does kind of take away from what the product has to do overall, which is to present a wrestling show. And I know what you're thinking, oh well, drama gets people interested, but you don't need to make a show about that. Social media will take care of that for you. And yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. Thanks for listening.